So a quick demonstration of what Replify's WAN acceleration client can do for a Facebook user. There's two challenges for Facebook users on mobile devices. One is that the cellular network does actually have still significant congestion, not so much in the wireless spectrum with the rollout of 3G and LTE, but the backhaul from the base stations themselves are very congested and becoming more so all the time. So that will have a negative effect on their experience, particularly because Facebook is content heavy, a lot of images, a lot of rich content. The other big issue for users of applications such as Facebook is the roaming costs for their data. So you go on holiday, visit another place, that's the time when you're perhaps most interested in keeping all of your Facebook information up to date. You want to share what you're doing, you want to see what other people are doing. And as you can see on this emulation of a 3G network, the images themselves are fairly slow to present. In this case, the simple map graphic itself has taken several seconds to come up. And if we hop back and look at a page which is almost entirely graphics, you'll see there's considerable delay in accessing the page and in having the graphics themselves come up on the screen. Now, in a moment, we're going to launch and configure the Replify WAN acceleration client, establish a connection with the virtual appliance. So WAN acceleration is a bookended solution. The client on the device, the Android device in this case, talks to an appliance somewhere in the cloud or in the data center, which has been positioned near to the content server that we're trying to optimize the experience for. So this is the Replify local client. I'm going to add the IP address of the remote virtual appliance. Normally this is a transparent process done behind the scenes and is not visible to the end user. And with the connection established, see it pop up in a second, we're applying a variety of techniques, manipulation of the protocols, but in particular byte level deduplication, which effectively removes traffic from the connection that has been seen before. And it does this with a fine granularity, so it's not looking at entire objects, entire images, what have you. It's actually looking at small sequences of ones and zeros, and if they've been sent before, they need not be sent again. So let's go back to our main Facebook page and see what sort of effect this has on the experience. As you can see, the main page popped up much more quickly, and the graphics are coming up much faster as well. And this is what we would expect. A typical Facebook user will visit their pages many times a day, will visit other people's pages also. So the process of deduplication is going to be very effective because so much of that content is going backwards and forwards, revisited on a repeat basis. Again, on the map page here, you saw how much more quickly the map came up. And if we now go and have a look at that graphics intense page, as you can see, once the pictures start appearing, they manifest very quickly indeed. So the user experience obviously noticeably better. Let's take a look at what's actually happening on the network. So this is a screenshot from the remote virtual appliance. This is showing the traffic crossing the network. So the red area is the data as received by the client effectively. It's the data it thinks it got. Actually, what it really got was the very small yellow area, which is almost invisible. You can see a couple of yellow spikes over towards the left. In practice, very, very little data had to cross the network. And even with the Facebook pages changing, most of it will remain constant from one visit to the next. It's a little bit harder to read, but at the top of the screen, you can see a couple of figures for performance acceleration and offload. So the performance acceleration is something like tenfold. But the interesting figure is the offload, which is over 90%. So in other words, only about a tenth of the data actually crossed the network. And that means real savings for users.